So, our trance top tip. Let's see, what do you think?
For producers, this is quite a complicated one, but it's really to pay attention to the stereo field, stereo image. It can really make your mixes really muddy if you don't like bring stuff into the center as well. So that would be my number one tip for aspiring producers.
Pay attention to all the dimensions of the music. Right?
That sounds way more deep than it needs to, but I think what he means is like the width and the depth in terms of volume and space, yeah.
And my tip would be just keep it really simple. Keep it simpler than you think it needs to be, because once we started doing that, our tracks started doing exponentially better.
Yeah. The simpler something is, the harder it hits on the dance floor, to be honest.
Okay, so my top trance tip would be something I only found out not so long ago. Every sound has its space in the mix. I'm talking frequencies, so don't clutter the mix. If you have a riff on the high frequency, you don't need anything else to complement that. You need mids to fill it in, and obviously your lower frequencies. So every frequency has its space in the mix. It's something I only learned not that long ago, and it makes so much difference. It opens up the mix. So that'd be my top trance tip.
Last but not least, my trance top tip is to, I don't know. Wait, okay. My trance top tip is to make sure that you keep on listening to State of Trance every week, because right there we have the newest stuff every week for you, the nicest guests and the nicest live shows. Ding!
Okay, one of the best things about trance festivals are that you meet people from all over the world. So my top tip to all those trance people that are used to traveling to go to parties is go to Argentina. The parties there are better than anywhere else in the world. No offense, Mexico. I'm sure tonight will be on a par, but wherever you are in the world, if you've not been out and having a great, epic night of trance, there's nowhere better to do it than Argentina. Do that. That's my top tip. Enjoy yourself.
Okay, so our trance top tip, which counts for other genres as well.
Yeah, is if you actually get in the game of producing music, please try to be original, try to be new, come up with something fresh. Don't do what everyone else is doing already. This is just helping the whole industry and the music and other people. So yeah.
Don't chase the trend, be the trend.
So this is my trance top tip. I would like to address this to aspiring trance producers. You know, there's one thing that is important in trance, and that's pretty much like the only thing that's really important in trance. Trance is about emotion. You know, it's always been and it will always be. And if it's not about emotion, it's not a proper trance record. So make sure that you come up with a theme first before you do all the other production around it. You know, and make sure that if the hairs on your own arms are up, then you know you're on the right path. And once you have that, you can just build a track around it. And if you don't know how to do that, a very good sort of thing is just you take your favorite track, you listen to it, you almost try to copy it all the way. Once you have that done, you take that track out and you start changing everything. But at least you have the structure, at least you have the vibe, and then you start stepping away from all the melodies and all that, and you make that your own. And that's probably the easiest way to get into it. But most of all, melody, emotion, melody, emotion.
My trance top producer tip would be just to make music that you want to make. Don't try and compare yourself to anyone else. Just make what comes most naturally to you, because that's how you be unique, by being yourself.